Hello, Chuckadelphia. This is Chuck coming to you from the command center, and catch me before I fall. So, hello, Chuckadelphia. Welcome again to the command center. And today I wanted to talk about relationships. Okay, so let me ask you, how is your knowledge of vocabulary relating to dating and relationships in English? Many people love to talk about their relationships, their boyfriends and their girlfriends, their friends' boyfriends and girlfriends, their exes. And let me tell you, it's a lot more fun to talk about those things and to talk about the joys of being in the friend zone, right? So, for the most part, you have to meet someone first. And you can meet people online or through apps or a variety of ways, right? Or even at a public place like a church, a restaurant, a bar, a library, university, etc., right? And sometimes you might say you meet someone through a friend or a relative. So maybe you end up meeting someone that you're interested in that lives with a friend or a relative, or they work with a friend or a relative, or maybe they're a friend of a friend or a relative, right? And sometimes that friend or relative might say, I want you to meet a friend of mine. I think you two would hit it off or get along great, right? If this is the case, you would say a friend or a relative set me up with their friend, meaning they think that you two would get along well and you should go out on a date, right? And if you never met the person before, this is what we call a blind date. It could be the first date, the blind date, right? So first, you may want to chat up with them or strike up a conversation with them. And that's when you have a casual conversation with them. This is how you get to know them better, right? And if along the way, if you feel brave or courageous, maybe you flirt with the other person. This is when we talk or act in a certain way in order to let the other person know that we are attracted to them. Maybe you wink your eye, you go, yeah, what's up? How you doing? Huh? Are you cool? And the thing is, you got to remember that you don't want to appear to be desperate or bothersome, because sometimes if you flirt too excessively, if you show too much, either the other person will not be interested or they might feel harassed or annoyed by your actions. And that would mean that you have no chance at all. And sometimes they may even call the cops on you. So if you flirt with someone, make sure you flirt with them in a respectful way and not go overboard or do too much, right? But you want to let them know you are attracted to them. So you flirt with them in a playful way. If you feel positive about the situation, you may want to ask them out on a date. This is another way of saying you are inviting someone out in a way that you get to know them better and express romantic interest in them. Okay? You have a date with them, right? So you might tell your friends, I have a date with someone, okay? When we have an encounter with them. You may also say, hey, let's get together for some coffee, dinner, or beer, or something like that. Lunch, breakfast, okay? So if you say, I'm getting together with Karen on Saturday for lunch, that means, it might be considered a date, okay? If the other person says no, you may feel rejected or let down. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. There are other fish in the sea, right? Many times the other fish in the sea may lead to Cindy Crawford or something like that, right? So if you're referring to one particular date, as I said, you say you have a date with that person. You may also say that you invite them to do something, right? And if you offer to pay, you might say, it's my treat. This could give the implication that you are romantically interested in the person. So you say you have a date with someone. That means it's one particular encounter, right? Moment that you hang out, time that you hang out. But if the date is successful and you have other dates with that person, you can say that you are dating them or seeing them, right? Now, you may know that see shouldn't be progressive, but you can use it in a progressive way if you say that you have a romantic relationship with someone, okay? So another way of saying that is if you are regularly having dates with someone, you say, I am dating Cindy Crawford, or I am seeing Cindy Crawford. If this leads to a short, intense relationship, You may call it a fling instead of a serious relationship. A fling is just like a quick, intense, maybe passionate relationship. But hopefully things go well and you fall in love with them and you start a relationship. You are boyfriend and girlfriend, or boyfriend and boyfriend, or girlfriend and girlfriend. It could be various things today, right? But if you have a serious relationship with the idea of marriage in the future, you may also refer to this relationship as a courtship. You may hear someone say, I am courting her. And this simply means that we are in a relationship and we have talked about marriage. Sadly, however, maybe things don't work out and your relationship doesn't last. You have what is called a falling out, which means you argue about something and for some reason or another, you can't come to a way to get past it. So perhaps you break up or split up with that person, which means you end the relationship and you move on. And sometimes if your friends care about you, they may ask you, well, is there any way that you two will get back together again? And that simply means, like, is there a way that you guys will rekindle or repair the relationship and get together again and have a relationship again? Sometimes that's a possibility. Other times it's not a good idea, right? But if you stay strong, perhaps one of you will ask the other person to marry them. If that's the case, we call that a proposal. You might say, my boyfriend proposed to me, or my boyfriend asked me to marry him. If you say yes, well then, that leads to a wedding and a honeymoon and marriage, and that, my Chuckadelphia friends, is for another video. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you are safe, and I hope you have a great day and a great week, okay? Thank you for hanging out with Chuckadelphia, okay? If you have any questions, put them down in the comment box, okay? And let us know. And I hope you are in a happy relationship, right? And hopefully everything's going great, and you guys are strong despite the coronavirus situation right now. Okay, so this is Chuck saying goodbye and have a wonderful day.